claps.
Here, this is it.
Hello. Welcome to the Anything More, Anything Goes. My name is Miguel.
I'm Brendan.
And welcome to episode 89,
This
folks.
is not the first one we've recorded today.
And it's not the
if
last
you
that we're
could
going to
not
do
tell.
either.
That's a secret. Shush.
No, to start the new year, we're jumping in hardcore with recording. I think it's like 3 straight in a row. And you know what?
If I clicked
It's
on
been
that, I
a
would
good
have
day.
clicked off immediately.
We're having a good time. Folks, today we are doing the MCU tier list. In this episode, we're going to do phases 1, 2, and 3, just to keep things a little shorter than a 3-hour fucking podcast.
Yeah.
Link in the bio for all of the time cards below. Brendan,
Yeah,
here's how we're going to do this, right?
sure.
I've been talking about this and planning this for
As
almost
long as
a
I've
year.
known you.
Yes. I've been wanting to do the MCU ranking tier list for ages. It's one of my favorite things in the whole world for us to sit here and go through the Marvel movies, rank them, talk about them, do whatever with them. We've done them in separate, right? Timmy and I watched the movies, we ranked them ourselves. We did this when the podcast first started, we did this just talking about it and shooting shit and whatever, but we never actually ranked it in an episode.
Yeah.
So here's how we're going to do it. We're going to do a tier list. You're not going to see it.
Is it a secret?
Yes, it is. Basically, each tier has a couple different point categories.
Yeah.
Based on what you say and what I say, we're going to take the average of the two. We're going to put it in there, and at the end, we will rank them from worst to best based on what we say right there.
Okay.
For context, we've watched a handful, most of Phase 4 and 5 recently.
We've seen it all, but
Yes.
we went back.
Phases 1,
to,
2, and 3 we
like,
weren't going to rewatch for this
We've seen it so
because we've
much.
done it so many fucking
And
times.
these we've seen them all at least once, and we made an effort to go back and rewatch as much as we could, but it was just
It's a lot.
it's
Trying to
also
watch
bad.
the MCU at this point is a lot.
bad.
But no, when you get to Phases 4 and 5, there's a lot of stuff you have to get through instead
That
of
is
enjoy.
bad. Yeah.
Yes.
That's called being bad. You
Well,
have to get through
the
it.
MCU as a whole is not bad. Phases 4 and 5 have some bad shit in it.
Did we watch 1 through 3? Then everything we had to rewatch
So
was
we're
bad.
Gonna go through in release order,
Mhm.
and we're going to start in Phase 1.
But we need to specify.
Oh, yes, because
What's canon?
everything's fucking complicated, right? So
Why you gotta be
you want to
so
do the honorable mentions
complicated?
now
What?
or later? Because we could just blitz through the honorable mentions. Honorable mentions are going to be your Spider-Man movies because of No Way Home. They're all canon in the multiverse.
Yeah.
Technically, Deadpool is because his movie's coming out, and we don't know, even though there's leaks.
Okay, so hold on. We talked about this before. You
Yes, we
mixed it
did.
up right now. So
Oh, you're right. It's the
Andrew
Spider-Man
Garfield
movies.
and Toby are canon because of No Way Home. Deadpool
Tom
is
Hardy.
not canon
No.
because they did not put him into the movies
Not
yet,
yet.
even though he will be canon.
He will be.
The X-Men are not canon yet,
Yeah,
even though he were at the end of that movie just because Kelsey Grammer's Beast was a little bit different, so we're not exactly sure if he's the same one. Shut up. Venom does count because
He was technically in the multiverse
saw
at some
Tom
point.
Holland. He's
He
like,
was moved
he looks
over.
good. I'm going to get that.
Venom was like, I'm going to
And
lick the TV.
And then we got all the other shit in between. What are we
And
missing?
then Michael Morbius had Vulture show up, and he was
Oh.
like, Spider-Man.
Yeah, except,
We didn't see that movie.
it, so it doesn't count.
Because it's a bad movie.
And so Morbius will not be in this.
But the Netflix shows are.
The Netflix shows
Because
will be.
as of recent, those are canon.
As of recently, they are canon, and we have seen them.
Yes, we
and
have.
Daredevil showed up in No Way Home, therefore
And
he
Echo.
is part of the universe. Who?
And Echo.
Echo, yep. That was
Episode
part
1.
of the regular.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just saying he showed up in a bunch of shit.
Echo's a girl.
Yeah. In the show.
You said he. Oh.
He showed
was
up in
in
Echo.
Echo.
Yes,
Okay,
Daredevil
I
was
was
in
very
Echo.
confused.
In the first season for 4 minutes.
So he's just part. Oh, and She-Hulk.
Oh, yes. That show's like a fever dream in
Yeah.
my head. We'll get to it later. We're also going to take all of the shows and just group them as one. So Daredevil season 1, 2, and 3, although they're different in quality, we're ranking as one. Same goes for every other TV show. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is technically not in the canon. So we're skipping it.
I also want a better Ghost Rider, so.
That's fair. Brendan.
Yeah.
Let me just move my laptop a little bit. The start of it all.
Yes.
2008's Iron Man 1.
Yes.
This, I feel like, is
What are the tiers, first of all? Is it up to A or S?
S. You have an F tier with 0 points.
Mm.
D is 1 point. C is 2. B is 3. A is 4. And S is 5 points,
Is there any
respectively.
extra credit?
No.
Okay.
If you have below a 60, you fail.
Damn.
I feel like Iron Man is the easiest one.
Yes. S tier.
S tier, exactly.
S tier.
There's no fucking thought about it. There's no...
Even if you take out the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe, that movie is awesome.
Yes. 100%.
We only give a fuck about the Marvel Cinematic Universe because
Because
that
of Iron
movie
Man,
was
yes.
awesome.
So...
I remember AC/DC had a comeback because of that movie. Exactly.
This kid is back!
Not, Black Sabbath, who had the song Iron Man, 'cause that would have made sense. But, whatever. That's Aerosmith.
Sorry. As you can tell, this is not our first episode. I've had a little bit to drink.
Yes,
Iron Man
we
1.
mentioned that already.
Yes, we did. I will mention it 3 more times.
Good.
Iron Man 1, man. What a fucking movie. Even watching it now,
Sets the fucking tone.
it's a different tone
different
entirely, right? Because if you want
I
to talk
miss
about
that tone.
the tone of the MCU, truthfully, once you get to phase 3 and onward, the tone of the MCU is really Guardians of the Galaxy meets Iron Man meets like the Avengers quippiness.
Meets Doctor Strange.
Yes, you shove it all together. That's what it is.
Because you need to blend it so it seems like one cohesive universe, even though I liked having them separate.
It was nice.
When
and
they
that's why
crossed
Marvel
over, it was
Spotlight is a
cool.
new good thing, because now we have the grounded stuff similar to your Iron Man, and then you have the fucking cosmic
Echo
stuff.
was a Spotlight.
That's what I mean.
Which doesn't
Echo
make
was
sense to me.
We'll get there.
Okay.
We'll get there in like 2 hours. Okay.
You mean the next episode?
Yes. Iron Man, man. Jeff Bridges. Tony Stark built this in a cave. Robert Downey Jr. before he was super like involved into being Iron Man.
How they flew by the seat of the pants. Is that the phrase?
Flew by the seat of their pants. Yes.
Yes.
They
And
just made this shit happen.
Came out great.
Yes.
And you
they
know
were
what?
like, we're gonna make a
You're telling me the movie
about a character that some people know, but most people fucking don't.
You're telling me one of the greatest Marvel movies ever made
Yes.
had the least studio influence?
100%. Who
Has no one noticed that?
Hey, Bob Iger, again.
Hey, Bob!
Just to
how those
harken
execs
back.
do on that one?
Just to harken back to our fucking short from a couple months ago, Bob Iger wants more execs on set. You're wrong.
Yeah.
Iron Man's fucking stellar.
We need more John Favreau's on set.
Exactly.
We need 3 John
basically-
Favreau's
that
minimum
is the
on each Marvel
fucking
movie.
trend of phase 1.
Yes.
Phase 1, the trend is, man, let's stay small. Let's keep it simple. Execs, don't worry about it.
And you know what's weird? We're going to get to it, but I
Yes.
just want to throw it out there now.
This is going to be the whole thing. We're
Besides
gonna
the
get
one
to
that
it.
no one likes to talk about, the worst one in that original thing is Thor, and it's not even bad. It's just because it's the only one that reaches far. It's not the only grounded
Yes,
one.
exactly.
And that's why it was weird, but it was by no means bad. But let's...
And even so,
we got to get there. We got to
Iron
get
Man.
there. We're sorry.
Iron Man is an S tier.
Yes, S tier.
S tier without a fucking single thought. Okay, so number 2 on the list that came out, ironically, also in 2008, is Brendan's favorite movie of all time, The Incredible Hulk, starring one Edward Norton. Let me tell you, man, I understand a lot of the hate that some people have for this movie. I think it's fine. I think it's weird that it's not Mark Ruffalo's Hulk and that they have to recast him by the time the Avengers come. I think it's fine that the design of the Hulk is incredibly different than what we had, but it's very similar to how Edward Norton looks. I think whatever her name is, who plays, I want to say Betty White. That's not a fucking
Betty
name.
White in
No,
the Hulk.
That's not it.
Now I'd fucking watch that.
No, Betsy Ross? Betty Ross?
That's
Betty? I feel like her name is definitely Betty.
not Wasp.
It's Evangeline. No, not Evangeline Lilly. The other one.
No, yeah, I don't know. That's
Not
Wasp.
Evangeline Lilly. It's Wasp.
Liv
She's in
Tyler.
thank you,
Tyler.
Lord of the Rings. Liv Tyler.
Yeah, Steven Tyler's daughter.
Yes, I think she's great. She's
Yes.
very soft-spoken, very excited. I like the way that they just blitz through his origin story in the opening credits. It shows like the gamma, and then he's fucking big, and then he's annoying, and then he's angry.
Yeah.
And then Stan Lee drinks the soda. I understand why people hate it. It's so stop laughing at
And
me.
then Stanley drinks the soda. Highlight.
It's so separate from the rest of the MCU. But the Incredible Hulk to me is fine. I'll give it a B. Most of the beginning MCU to me is a B, and I think the Incredible Hulk, even though a lot of people hate it, stays B tier.
You know what's really funny?
No.
You're one of those people.
Am I?
I watched it with you.
You did.
In the first half of that movie, you know what the only words out of our mouths were? Holy fuck, this is bad. And you're giving it a B? The ending had good moments, but as a movie? Are you fucking kidding me?
You're telling me it's not cool as fuck when the Hulk takes a chain.
I
and
didn't say
chokes
was it
the
not
Abomination.
cool. I said was it a good movie?
And
That
he's
is
like-
that is what the list says.
He's
I'm
like,
giving it
"Ah!"
out of the list that we've done in the past,
Yeah.
and out of the way that
You always put the Incredible Hulk at the bottom.
I will
Do
not
not even play with me.
I will-
I know it's going in F
I
tier.
will not give it an F, but it is going in D. Because
Okay.
there is worse, but you cannot look me in the eye and tell me that's a good movie.
I can so then, based on the
It is
ratio,
good moments.
the Incredible Hulk goes down to a C tier. And that's fine.
Still too fucking high.
Another one that I think another one that I think belongs in C tier is
Yeah.
Iron Man 2. Iron Man 2, 2008, has a fucking, not 2008, 2010, has a ton of really great scenes. You have the suitcase scene where he's at the raceway. He's throwing it on. One of the coolest, it was in the trailer when it initially came out. One of the coolest fucking superhero scenes I've ever seen. Jon Favreau's a lot of fun. Random Elon Musk cameo. Dogecoin, I don't fucking know. Whatever these new kids are saying, okay? Whiplash, annoying, but then he says, my board. And you're like, all right, I get it. That's fine. Rhodey shows up. Rhodey's randomly recast. They don't explain it to you in the movie, but it's cool.
For the better.
For the better, yes. The story's mediocre as shit. The action is cool. Tom Holland is technically in it at the Stark Expo. Justin Hammer, great. I wish he would
His
come
name
back
is
in more
not
stuff.
Justin.
Is it?
Is it?
Yes.
That's a bad
Hammer.
first name for the last. You got Hammer as one of the most hard-ass last names I've ever heard, and his first name is
Bing.
Justin.
He'd be a badass if he wants to be.
What's up? I'm gonna kick your ass today. What's
My
your
name's Justin. What do you think of Iron Man 2? Give me something. I'm putting it in B tier.
I fucking love it.
Really?
Yes, it's not a great movie, but I love it.
It's good
It's a
MCU
great
before it got too
follow-up
complicated.
for what it is.
Exactly.
It introduces Hammer as a fun villain. I love Sam
Yes.
Rockwell. Rhodey
Oh,
getting
Sam
his own
Rockwell.
red, white, and blue suit and everything.
Iron
You get
Patriot.
The Iron Patriot.
That's Iron Man 3.
Is it?
Yep.
I don't think so.
Positive. Yes, because then the president is in the suit when they go to save it, and he goes, blow up all the suits.
Okay, so War Machine shows up for the first
Yes,
time.
War Machine in the
War
good
Machine
suit.
as a whole. Okay, so he gets that one.
And then they
I
have the
remember
silver
show, and
suit
then
battle with the AC/DC.
Yes.
Oh,
and
no,
they're-
it's
and they're
Aerosmith.
They're drunk as fuck,
Yes,
and they're
and he's
fighting
hitting each other with a
It's
fucking
great,
barbell.
And you feel the weight of the
Yes.
suits in that scenes, which
Well, that's
Iron
because
Man
he smacks
loses as
him and he
time
goes
goes on.
ding.
But like Iron Man, as he goes on
Yeah.
and he becomes more and more CG, you lose the weight in those
Oh,
suits.
God, and then he pees in the suit.
He pees in the suit.
I appreciate that you matched my energy to a fucking T. Oh, my God.
And
Good job.
no, we're stalling. But whatever. The fucking romance fighting in it,
Yeah.
great.
Phenomenal.
The villain, okay, but
Mid.
going from the Iron Man movie where it's Iron Man versus other
Another
Iron
Iron
Man,
Man?
and seeing this dude be like,
Mm.
I know you, and doing whatever, and it's like, but it's before
It's
the
the
Avengers,
first
it's
real
whatever.
villain.
It's the real time you're like, this is a hero that not only affects his town,
Mhm.
but affects the world.
Yeah. Yeah,
and
yeah.
he's like everything involved in this, and I found that really cool.
I would agree. It's the
And-
first time that it's not like the Hulk fights another Hulk or Iron Man fights another Iron Man.
And I want to say it's an A tier movie, but it just squeaks in.
Squeaks into A.
It's like a 90 on the dot. Like
Okay,
there's
so
a lot way
to
better.
average it, right?
Yeah.
You'll give it a 90.
Yeah.
I would give it an 85. I'd say it's smack dab in the middle.
Okay.
The 87 puts it in B tier.
Okay.
Just to split the hairs a little bit. But I can understand how that could easily go either way between A and B.
Yeah, it's
So it
definitely
is what
not
it
the
is.
best there is by
No, no,
any
no.
circumstance. And there's definitely a lot of other A tier films that are better than it, but I don't want to discredit it by saying it belongs lower.
Agreed. Now we have the one that you were just talking about before, Thor,
Yes.
the original Thor. This is the first MCU movie. No. Yes, the first MCU movie that I saw in theaters. I couldn't remember if it was that or Iron Man 3. I fucking love Thor, dude. I love the Shakespearean vibe that they were going for. This origin story of this dude that we'd never seen before. Everything was grounded, and then it was up in the sky, and it was, oh my God, I'm in Asgard. And then he comes down to Earth, and he's smashing the fucking mug in the floor.
My favorite thing about that movie
What?
is not reading a single goddamn comic
Mhm.
and Hawkeye showing up and me not even noticing.
Yes, 100%.
Until years later,
Yes, and
when
then
we
you're
watch
like-
the Avengers, you go back and you're like, holy fuck, Hawkeye's in this
You're like,
movie?
oh my God, that's another Avenger. He was just in that
okay.
movie.
We had no idea. He's been here the whole time. Natasha's the last one. Oh, no, that's Iron Man 2. Never mind. He's the
Yes.
last one to show up.
He is the last one.
And
Oh, no, technically it's Cap. Because his movie comes out after this.
Does it?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Damn.
I would say Thor is another, and again, I'm going to say this probably throughout phases 1 and 2. It's another B tier. It's solid,
Definitely B.
but it's not more solid than something like Iron Man 2.
The final villain that they have and everything is a cool concept. It's fun. The
It's
budget
Loki.
felt very no. You're right.
Yes.
I'm
Yeah.
talking
Oh,
about
you mean
dude whose
the
face,
metal
like,
one whose
open-
face
yes.
is magma? Yes.
Loki's phenomenal.
Uh-huh.
But what he's done in the rest of the
The
universe,
slick back
he kind of gets
fucking-
lost in
Yeah.
that movie.
Yes.
So that's not his greatest performance.
No.
So
Not
I'm-
even close.
No, I'm gonna move past that. The world for Thor is not yet built. Thor's got those fucking bright ass eyebrows that I hate.
Oh, yes, the bleach blonde eyebrows. How
mm,
could we forget about the...
But we get introduced to Darcy Lewis, who is now
Fucking
a
hilarious.
favorite. Even back
Yes.
then, I'm like, oh, it's the girl from Two Broke Girls, and and it's just
That's who she is.
yes. And now I'm just like, I'm so glad they brought her back in WandaVision.
Thank God.
Um,
And then she was also in, I think, What If? She's still around in the present.
because she deserved more, and I like.
Yes.
She's very fun character. She's not a necessary character.
She
but
showed up
she's-
in Thor 4 a little
yes,
bit.
she's welcome in the universe.
Exactly. We
Um,
enjoy having her there. She's not someone we're like, oh,
Zachary
man.
Levi as one of the Asgardians before they kicked his
Bef-
ass
yes,
out.
before they just randomly killed him.
That dude from
No.
Star Wars who just died recently.
Oh. Balin Skull.
Yeah, he's in it.
What the fuck is his name?
I don't know. That character does not matter. But like that whole squad, I like how it wasn't just like it was a Thor movie, but even then, like everyone struggles with introducing characters, but they introduce them as secondary characters in a Marvel universe.
Ray
Just-
Stevenson.
yes, Ray Stevenson. And
That was difficult.
they introduce them just enough for you to get an idea of who they are,
Yeah.
but not enough to really give a fuck.
Yes.
And it was just good enough so at the ending, when they kind of reunite a bit, they're like, "You're back!" and I'm like, "Yeah."
I'm so happy.
And like,
Ray Stevenson is in that movie?
he's the one who looks like a dwarf, but like 6 foot
Oh,
tall.
fuck, you're right.
Yeah.
It's a big guy.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like him at all.
No, but I mean, yeah, but
A little bit, yeah.
a little bit. I mean, you see his face, but he's like redhead and
Yeah.
beard.
And you're like, is that
He looks
Gendry?
like Gimli, but like
Gimli, yes, Gimli,
Did you
not
just
Gendry.
say Gendry?
Yes. Where is that name from?
Gendry. Gendry.
Gendry.
I want to say Hunger Games kind of shit, but it's not it. Gendry. Google Gendry. It's very obvious. Gendry. Who the fuck is Gendry?
Game of Thrones.
God damn it. Okay.
Not the same.
No.
So Thor.
Yes.
Fine. Next we have
But B tier. We settled on.
yes,
Okay.
we settled on B tier. We agreed on B tier. It evens out of B tier.
And Thor was great. Another bang.
Then we have Captain America, the first Avenger, if I can find it on the tier list.
I want to know if our ideas are still different because I know what it was last time we did it.
We also the last
And
time
I
we did this tier list
stand
together
by.
was
About 5 years ago?
2019. Yes, was the last time we
4
actually
years
spoke
ago?
about it.
Yeah.
I think it's an A tier movie.
It's an S tier movie.
S tier,
It's fucking phenomenal.
really.
I love World War II movies.
Mm.
Captain America as a whole is a fucking national treasure. Hence, pretty much his whole point.
Yes, yes,
But
yes.
it's America's ass before we do
It's
it.
America's ass. That's right.
He's
Before anybody
fucking
told us it
America's
was.
sweetheart at that point, essentially. Like he just like, I'm gonna dive in this grenade and save my friends because that's what a hero
Yes,
would fucking
the
do.
CG still looks
You
very
have,
good this far on.
The dude, bald guy, blue hair,
Yes.
Game of Thrones,
Yes,
Hunger Games. Not Game of Thrones. He was in Hunger Games, blue hair.
had the glasses?
Stanley Tucci.
Stanley Tucci's in that movie. That's
He's
right.
the doctor. He's great.
That's the same person
yes.
with the hair?
Yeah.
Fuck. Stanley Tucci is a fucking
He's
national treasure.
awesome.
He is.
Him-
Stanley Tucci's fucking great.
Bucky
The
gets
action
introduced.
is
We
great.
don't even know he's important yet.
Bucky dies. Falls off a bridge, loses an arm, falls down a canyon.
Hugo
he dies.
Weaving. Great.
Stellar. I hate the fact that he's not further along in the universe, but in what he does, you could have been he sounds like John F. Kennedy.
Peels off the mask, kind of like the reveal, like the Jack Nicholson Joker.
Yes.
But
very
in a way
close.
where we, expected it.
Yes, exactly.
And just all of it was phenomenal. And you cared about it. And the CG.
You did, yes. It still holds up. It's been like 15 years.
I remember seeing that movie when it came out, not really remembering who the fuck Chris Evans was.
Yes.
And couldn't tell if the scrawny one or the buff one was on
him.
the CG body.
Yes.
And
Had no idea.
That blew my mind at the time.
It still looks. I mean, now if I nitpick
Yeah.
for it, right? If I stare at his face long enough, I can
You
see
could
the
tell.
seam.
You could tell now. But
Yes.
But like it's
But
not
it's
bad.
even still,
Yeah.
it's however many years on. It's still you're like, damn, how the fuck did they pull this off
the scene
so
with
well?
Carter, I forget her actress's name, where she like touches the peck and you could tell she's like,
Haley Atwell?
Fuck.
Haley Atwell introduced in that movie, stellar,
Yeah.
still
But
in
I
the
mean, like, that
MCU to this
scene was
day.
like you know that, right?
Yes, I know.
touches
She was
his peck
freaking
and
out. She was like, "What
"That's
the
a
fuck?"
man titty.
Okay, I will say right because now we have to split hairs. I'm gonna give it a 90. I'll put it. Oh no, 90 would be S tier. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fine, S tier.
S tier.
S tier.
S tier is like 98 and above, I would say. And I'm putting it at that. That's a damn near perfect movie. I fucking love that movie.
I will say, is it better
also-
or worse than Iron Man? It's worse.
It's worse by 1 point.
Yes, I'd say it's pretty fucking close.
And it also introduces the idea of the Avengers, even though we knew it was coming.
Exactly.
Nick Fury shows
And
up.
so now you get
No, because that already happened with Thor.
the Avengers.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Fury's Big Week.
No, Fury's Big Week was all the movies we just listed.
Okay.
Now you get to the Avengers. Man, this is just like
Good fucking job.
this is just like Endgame. Ignore it. Nobody can see it. It's behind the bar.
Didn't happen. Didn't happen. You didn't see shit.
Sure, the mic didn't even pick it up. The Avengers is another movie you just had to be there for. It was like
You
2012,
had to be there.
2013.
The rest didn't exist. Nothing happened after.
Nothing happened after. It's one of those things you had to be there. It was fucking incredible. It was wild to watch happen, to see them do it and pull it off so well. To have these individual movies, and they teased it from the beginning. They teased it from the jump in Iron Man.
Just
And to have it
from-
work.
I just want to jump back to Captain America.
No.
Seeing the Nick Fury thing in there.
Oh yeah, right. That last like
even
8
then,
minutes.
I was not on Instagram. I was not on YouTube.
No,
looking at
none
the
of us
fucking
were.
leaks,
We
doing
were in like
whatever.
middle school, the
Yeah.
start of high school.
I was just like, I kind of like up to this point, I've assumed based on the heroes that they've introduced that the Avengers are probably going to be a
yes,
thing.
yes.
But seeing that, I'm like, oh my god, this is going to
This is
happen.
actually gonna
and
fucking
then
happen.
Seeing the Avengers happen,
Mhm.
even though I went and I saw it, and I'm like, oh my god, it's here.
It blew your fucking mind.
It's great.
It blew
but
your
at the
13-year-old
same
mind.
time, the chemistry was so fucking good.
It was
so
fucking,
good.
The directing, the standing,
it
the
wasn't-
jokes, the chemistry between them.
It wasn't even that it was like, oh my god, this is the coolest shit. I'm
Yes.
like, This is the squad.
This is the coolest
This
shit,
is the squad.
and they're making it happen. They're
what are
just
you without
friends.
the armor? A billionaire playboy None of those words are real. None of those words. You do it.
Billionaire playboy philanthropist.
That's what he said.
And then he goes, and then there's a scene that everybody knows. He goes up to Mark Ruffalo and he goes, "You want a blueberry?" "Yeah, I'll take a blueberry." Because Mark, not Mark, fuck it, whatever his name is, wanted to have snacks all over the set.
I love seeing
Stellar.
Hulk try to pick up the hammer and just be like, "I'm gonna beat." What the fuck?
I can't get the
I
fucking.
can't pick. I can always pick it up. What the fuck?
Why can't I pick it up right now? I think the Avengers is an easy S tier. I think right now, talking the end of Phase 1,
Loki
the first
cements
Avengers,
his face on Mount Rushmore in Marvel, and there's only 4 faces, and there's more than 4 Avengers. His face is on Mount Rushmore.
Agreed.
It's Cap.
Are we talking villains or
No,
in general?
In general,
Loki, Cap, Iron Man,
and Thor's pushing for a spot, but I
Thor-
don't quite know if he's there.
I
yet.
would honestly, I'd say Black Widow deserves it more than Thor.
No,
Really,
Thanos. He's
Yeah.
in less, but his statement was larger.
We'll get there.
So you got 2 heroes and 2 villains on that
We'll
Mount
get there,
Rushmore.
yes.
That's a good balance.
I'm going to say the first Avengers is an easy S tier above Iron
Yeah.
Man, and that kind of goes without saying. Let
Black
me just
Widow
find
was
it.
great, but
There's so much fucking Marvel shit.
we needed the Budapest movie and we never got it.
No, we didn't. We just got a really mediocre Black Widow movie, but we'll get there.
Had a cool as fuck opening though. You don't even remember what the opening
No,
was.
wasn't it a Nirvana song?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a cover.
Can't find the first Avengers movie poster.
It's all of them in like the.
I know what it looks. There it is.
Motherfucker didn't even say assemble.
You had to wait like another
That
10
is
years
also
for
why
that.
it's at a 99.
I would say it's close up there.
Yeah.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
Iron Man 3. A very controversial movie amongst Marvel fans,
Mhm.
and I think for all the wrong reasons. I think, right, just from the jump, I'll tell you, Iron Man 3 is like an A-tier movie. I enjoy the fuck out of it. I think there's a reason it broke $1 billion. I like the suits a fuck ton. I like the chemistry that Tony has with the little kid. I like the setting. I like the fact that it's a Shane Black Christmas movie. I like the villain twist, even though a lot of people in the world fucking hate the Mandarin. I like the part that Rhodey plays with the Iron Patriot. And I like Aldrich Killian. I like the extremist, like, I'm a nerd, but then I'm like a bad boy, but also like, I'm the Mandarin! Smack. I love the shit out of this movie.
I'm going to agree with you, but I'm
You're
also
making
going
me
to
afraid.
say it doesn't hit as hard as the other 2.
No.
And we gave the first one an S
Yes.
and the second one an A.
Second one actually has a B.
Does it?
Yes.
You know what that means? This at least is a B. Cannot be better than 2 because it is not better than 2.
I see you.
But there
I
are
hear
great
you.
moments. Those suits at the end, seeing all those had a lot of Crimson Chin vibes on it with all the fucking suits.
Bing,
Before it was cool to, do
yes.
the multiple different things.
That's the only thing I hate about this movie. I hate that we went like, oh, we could see each version of the suit, Mark 1, 2, whatever. Then you get to this one, and they're like, oh, this is the Mark 7. And
Here's
then
Mark 38.
the Marks 8 through 49 simultaneously.
This is the one I use when I need to fucking really pick up something heavy, but I'm not gonna like ever use it. And then we're gonna jump like 90 more volumes, even though I blew up all these, and we're gonna have the Hulkbuster in like 2 more films.
I'll put it in B. I'll put it right below Iron Man 2. That I can accept. Even though a lot of people in this
It's not
movie
a bad movie.
industry,
It's not bad.
in the movie industry, in the YouTube MCU
Motherfucking
ranking,
critics.
in
What?
these bitches, Iron Man 2, The Incredible Hulk, Thor 2, and like Guardians 2 are all always at the bottom. And then Iron Man 3 is like closely behind it. I don't agree with any of that.
What did you say again? Sorry, I
Thor
zoned
2.
out.
Thor 2, Iron Man 2, and Guardians 2 are all like at the bottom of the list.
We will get to it, but Guardians 2 is on no means a bad film. It's just not as good as the other 2.
Thor: The Dark World.
F.
F.
F. I fucking hate watching this movie. It's not that it's bad or it has good moments. I hate watching this movie. It's fucking
I gotta keep
bad.
standing up. My butt hurts.
Yeah, my back is getting stiff. These stools will not be here next week, hopefully.
No, they will not.
Even though this is a 3-week arc that we're doing today.
Yes, it is. 3. That's just fucking crazy. And it's funny because we're recording this a week before it even goes up anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, Thor: The Dark World. I understand all the hate for it, right? I understand where people come from, that it's all over the place, but it's also so fucking boring and mediocre.
That's
the
my
vibe
main
sucks. I get it.
What's the villain's name?
Malekith, the Dark Elf.
Do you give a fuck?
No.
Do you give a fuck about what happened?
Yeah, it's about the Reality Stone.
Okay, but before we knew it was the Reality Stone, it was just the ether. Did you give a fuck?
It was a red.
Did you
goo.
care that Natalie Portman had space cancer?
Loki
No.
died again?
Loki died again, and
The
not
third
for the
time.
last time. You know what
No.
that means? Nothing. Zachary Levi got recast.
Again,
What are we?
I will give this
This is
a
only
D.
the second one. What do you mean again?
I understand that you want to give it an F. I understand that we can put it in the bottom, but I can't give it an F because I could still, if you told me to sit here and turn on the TV and watch it and find something to enjoy, I could do it.
Besides certain TV shows that we will get to, and Captain Marvel, name a worse film. You fucking
The
can't.
Eternals.
That's wrong. I would rather watch The Eternals any day than Thor 2.
I can give it a D. I can't go farther than a D.
Well, I'm going with an F.
All right.
Bottom of the fucking barrel.
Bottom of the barrel.
You know how you have the phrase shooting fish in a barrel? These fish are already fucking dead because no one wants them.
So that means we'll put it in D, but it's at the bottom of D. So anything else that goes in D goes above it, no matter what.
Yeah.
All right.
D for Dead on Arrival. Fucking
Dead
garbage.
on. So then you
D
have.
for sucks dick.
So then you have basically the hardest fucking neck breaking 180 of any franchise, from Thor: The Dark World to The Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Making myself laugh, man. You gotta stop talking. I need a minute to drink some water. Winter Soldier is an A tier. I understand where people come from, that like this and Guardians are S tier and they're the best movies in the MCU, fucking whatever. I get it. I don't agree with it. I think The Winter Soldier is great, but there's so much that is better than it that I'm still just going to leave it at like the top of A or close to it.
I want to say it's S tier, but you're right.
This feels like the easiest one on the list. Well, no.
Before we
Close
got
to
to,
it.
the Infinity War and Endgame movies,
It deserved to be top 5.
Would have been S.
Yes.
But because of what
We've
they
seen
were,
how good they can do. We know that there's
I
better.
love those movies. They're phenomenal.
The Russo brothers.
But the whole like, come on, Bucky, man!
I'm tired of
I'm
you,
your
man.
bud, man!
So if you look at
it goes on a little
if you
too
look
long.
at your fucking microphone when you said man, it's just fucking peaked out as shit.
It's just the entire,
Bucky, I can do this all day,
I can do
man.
this all day. Okay, I'm gonna still beat the shit out of you. No, man, Bucky, you gotta learn. And it's just like,
Why? What is? Not
Bucky's a
so.
hippie.
Fuck. What is that wrestler? Hulk Hogan. Why do you sound like Hulk Hogan? Trying to do Captain America. Come on, man.
no,
This is your Bucky.
No, that's right.
Bucky, you got
Step into a Slim Jim.
Who is it? It's not Rey Mysterio. It's fucking
Randy Savage? No. Macho Man.
Yes, Macho Man. Randy Savage. Yes, that's Bucky, man. Come on,
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
You gotta join the good side. You gotta stop being a Russian spy,
Stop
man.
trying to kill everybody on the planet, man.
Remember America?
So it's an A-tier movie.
That part just goes on a little too long. When he's fighting him in the fucking helicarrier, I'm like, are we doing this again? But the rest of the movie is perfect.
I'm really glad that we got there. Man. So after Captain America, you have the continued kind of like rise of Marvel with Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes.
The movie nobody thought would work, but it's clearly.
Oh, I was like, who the fuck are these guys?
I think. Again, right? I get where it's coming from. This is not the best Guardians movie. It is not an S tier movie. It is an A tier movie.
Fuck you, you're right, but fuck you.
I think it's better than the Winter Soldier. I'll
I
give
don't like
it
that realization.
I know. It's better than the Winter Soldier, so it belongs.
But we
in the
said
top
the Winter
of
Soldier
A.
was the top of A already. So how are we already bumping it down on the next movie?
You can bump it down.
It's not
'cause
better.
It's not better.
No, the
That's a lie.
soundtrack is better.
I can
the
see that.
movie itself, Winter Soldier's better. It's just fun because it was different. As an
Which is
actual
fair.
movie,
That I can agree with.
it's not better.
I can fuck with that.
That's when we first went into that new direction and James Gunn showed us what the fuck he had.
That's right. And we were like, cosmic.
And we were like, oh
Fuck it.
my God.
It's so
Hand this
purple.
man DC.
It's so purple, man.
Purple and orange. That's all we need.
That's the whole movie.
Is that a fucking raccoon? Give me more.
He wants a leg.
And
Oh, I'm gonna get that arm.
I'm gonna get that
So-
eyeball too.
All right, I can agree. Right, just talking about Guardians of the Galaxy on a whole, the chemistry is fucking stellar. The way that he took this
Awesome.
team and turned them in every single character
The way
is
that
memorable.
They paid Vin Diesel six
fun-
figures to say one line over and over.
Groot, I am. I can side with you that it goes right below the Winter Soldier.
Yes.
And I feel like that's another easy one that we don't really have to get into too much, which is fucking weird.
Yeah.
Then it's the first curveball of the MCU.
Is it?
The one that you and I have watched but haven't rewatched extensively
We'll see.
that we enjoy on the whole.
I don't know what it is. Please tell.
Daredevil. I remember you weren't ready for that at all. I told you it's the first curveball. You were expecting me to say Age of Ultron. We're not there
I was
yet.
waiting for another movie. I forgot that TV shows existed at this point.
Yes.
We've
So
been drinking a little bit. I forgot.
we have Daredevil.
This is the problem that I now have.
Okay.
If you compare all the Marvel TV shows,
Yeah.
S tier. But if you throw in movies, it's not quite there.
I would say on the whole, Daredevil on its own, just the seasons 1, 2, and 3, excluding any other Defenders or cameos in other shows, it's an A tier. I won't give it S, right? Because the violence is great. The hallway scene alone, when he has the gun taped to his shit and he has the chain, that alone is one of the best scenes in the MCU. The suit, the red suit, Wilson Fisk. Oh my God.
Is fucking
stellar
Vincent
casting.
D'Onofrio was born for that role.
That's what he sounds like
to you? Kermit the Frog, Mr. Grover?
It's an A
I'm
tier.
gonna punch you.
And even like, I will even say the black suit is better than the red suit.
You're wrong. You just shut up. Just shut up.
Daredevil is a
bandana
great.
one?
Yes, the bandana one's fucking great.
He's Daredevil, not guy in suit.
A blindfold
I'm
guy.
Daredevil. Could you not tell by the black bandana covering my eyeballs?
Guy.
No, I didn't
It
fucking
is
get
me,
that.
blindfold guy. I live in the tunnels.
Clearly, I'm Daredevil. Could you not see the? Oh shit, there isn't one there. No, not a good suit.
There's no Daredevil symbol on the regular suit
It
anyway.
says DD.
No, it doesn't. My laboratory. Is that where you were
DD.
going?
No, it wasn't.
It says DD. No, it says red. It's just
If
a
it
red
says
suit.
red, we're gonna have some fucking issues. Are you serious? There's no Daredevil suit
No,
that says DD on it?
no.
What the fuck? Ben Affleck did, didn't it?
Yes.
How are you gonna let Ben Affleck one up you with Daredevil?
Listen, if Ben
What the
Affleck
fuck?
shows up in Deadpool 3, I think he takes the crown as the best Daredevil.
So here's the thing.
Charlie Cox is fucking perfect.
Wilson Fisk is phenomenal in this. I don't know if it's just because I was a child. I have not watched this movie in years. I will not watch it again. But
The Ben Affleck one?
one with Daredevil, like whatever Duncan or whatever his name is, the
Clark
black guy who
Duncan?
plays Wilson Fisk. I also, even though not knowing who he was in that
Fucking
movie,
horrifying.
awesome character. So
Yes.
are the actors really doing that great of a job?
Or is
that
Wilson
character
Fisk
that
just a
good?
great character?
Yeah.
I think it's both.
Okay.
I think Michael Clark Duncan did a phenomenal job.
I like how I barely knew his last name, and you're like, full fucking name, middle name included. There you go.
Because I remember his name because it's the YouTubers I watch. It's fine.
Okay.
Daredevil is an A-tier show. It is not better than Guardians. It is not better than Winter Soldier, but it is definitely fucking up there.
I remember being hype every season.
100%.
Yeah.
I remember watching it over and over again in like summer break.
Mhm.
I just gotta find it in the listing. So much shit. Wait, is that it? Nope. Daredevil. There it is. Daredevil goes just
By
under
the way,
Guardians
just
of the Galaxy.
good luck mixing the audio on this episode. We're worried about the mics being too close on the new set, and we're just screaming
Every
at
time
each
you
other.
start screaming, I just move the mic a little bit
I
behind
don't know
me.
what you're hearing, but I'm going to apologize in advance.
Now comes the biggest. I've said before that it's like the biggest. Like we think one thing and people think another thing.
Yeah.
But I'm not too sure anymore. It's Age of Ultron. I'm gonna put my hands up. Ready?
Hands up, sing.
I'm gonna put my hands up. It's an A-tier movie. I don't give a fuck what anyone else says. Age of Ultron is great. The color palette alone is stellar. Okay?
It was so good, I don't remember it. I'm being sarcastic. What the fuck was the color
Look at her.
palette?
She's mad at you. Timmy loves this movie. Age of Ultron is fucking stellar. Wanda. Pietro. Who else shows up in the Vision?
Who else shows up? I don't know. The Avengers?
Vision shows up in the Avengers. Vision. The chemistry continues. The opening scene where somebody says ass and Captain says language.
Language.
And even now you're like,
Shut the fuck up.
that's still funny. You're like, I'm going to react to it differently until Cap to shut the fuck up, but that's still funny.
I don't use like harsh language, but like I was born in the 40s and I've definitely said some things off camera that you guys have not seen.
Captain America is probably
Definitely
like low-key racist.
It's so fucking racist. He was born in the 1940s and fought in World War II.
He's definitely racist.
He's definitely
He's
racist.
just really good at hiding it. That's all it is.
Me? What? No, never. No.
I've never said the N word in my life.
I've never even said the S word or the F word until, you know, like phase 4, 3, he died in
Until somebody wrongs me.
until I saw myself and I had to beat my own ass. Then I cursed.
I beat my own
What am I
ass.
going to do? Tell myself to shut the
I
fuck
clap
up?
my
I'm
own
going to curse.
cheeks.
That's America's ass. I clap those cheeks any day of the week.
I told you this is gonna be great. We're like a quarter of the way into phase 2.
We're totally making another drink, too.
Yes, we are.
I'm so sorry.
This is Age of Ultron's an A tier. Ultron as a villain is under fucking utilized. Okay,
I just
James
want to throw this out there
Spader
right now.
is so.
There ain't no strings on me.
That first trailer, horrifying. I was like 15.
Picking up
Scary.
the hammer that pays off a decade later.
Yes.
Just fucking. I'll leave that. The fact that
it was
he
told.
had the heart to be like, I can't
It was
hurt him
told
like this.
later on. Yeah, exactly. It was told later on that it's not that he
totally would.
couldn't. He could have and just didn't on purpose because he didn't want to hurt Thor's ego.
That would have been the greatest first curse. Hey, Tony, suck a dick.
That's the greatest what if scene. It's Tony going, I could totally do it. Cap couldn't
That's not
do
an
it.
episode yet, right?
No, not yet, but it should be.
Yeah.
Where he goes, I could do it, Cap. Fuck you, and Cap's like, Tony,
What would Thor do? There's
look,
no
I got the hammer.
But what does he do? Like, there's no Stormbreaker. What if Cap gets the hammer? Then
He
he's worthy.
doesn't own it. He's just worthy enough to pick it
Mine
up.
now, bitch. I picked it up. Now
no,
what?
No,
Fight
because
me
at
for
that
it.
point,
oh, wait,
Thor
you can't,
is
'cause
still
I have your hammer.
Thor is still petty as shit.
Yeah.
At that point, Cap picks it up. He goes, "Look, it's mine." And Thor goes,
There's a little flip in his hand. So, like, is it heavy? Can't tell.
"No." Cap picks it up. He goes, "This is pretty." And Thor goes, "No."
Yeah, but that's not a Thor power. That's the hammer power.
Oh yeah, they're both
So
able
that
to
way they
summon the
could
shit.
totally have a force fight and be like, gimme.
And then it breaks.
Gimme. No, she's not Hela. He's not Hela.
Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
James Spader should show up in more shit.
Yes.
Ultron
The
is really
fucking
cool
Lizard
when he
King.
shows up in What If, but
You
he's
don't even know what that is. It's the Office reference.
stop it. It's an A-tier movie. Without a doubt, without a single other fucking thought in my head. This is my guilty pleasure MCU movie.
Okay.
I need your ranking, Brendan.
Forgot about that.
Yeah.
That's a reference to Austin Powers. At least in my mind, it is.
Age
I
of
don't know if
Ultron.
that's really a
Brendan,
thing.
you can do it.
I'll give it an A.
An A? All right.
It's not a high tier A, but it's an A.
Is it better than Daredevil? I would say yes.
The action isn't better than Daredevil, but because it's got Tony in it, yes.
Is it better than Guardians 1?
No.
It stays where it lies. A lot of yelling in this episode.
I love it.
The next
A
movie.
lot of ups and downs too. It's yo, 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 yo. So what are you doing? Can you hear me?
So the next movie.
Yeah.
Every single time one of these movies comes out, no, the first 2 times one of these movies comes out, it's a total neck-breaking 180. We had Age of Ultron, and now we have Ant-Man.
Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd.
Everyone loves Paul Rudd.
Who doesn't love Paul Rudd? He hasn't aged since the 90s.
Nope.
It's all of the blood that he drinks.
Is he on the list? I hope he's not. He's a good guy.
I like Paul Rudd a lot. Sorry,
he's not fucking with
let's
pudding.
talk. Let's talk story. Story's great. The suit's great. Darren in the yellow jacket suit. Cassie is casted as the little kid.
Yeah.
Funny as fuck.
Darren. Still a dick, but doesn't know it yet.
Doesn't know yet. Is a dick. Doesn't want to redeem himself from being a dick.
No.
Darren. Well, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm just getting fidgety because of the stool.
Oh, okay. You need another drink.
I'm
That's what
starting
it
to
is.
forget what to do with my arms at this point because I don't know where to put them because the thing is here and I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah. What are you doing? Where do I put these? Is this normal?
Hey guys, what's up? My name's Brendan from the Anything Bowl. Let me tell you about Ant-Man 1.
I feel like Talladega Nights. What do I do with my hands?
Yes, exactly. Ant-Man 1 is honestly, I'm not gonna say I'm disappointed by Ant-Man 1 because I think it's a very nice, like, grounded story. It's a B tier.
I did not give a fuck about this movie.
Yes.
And I never give a fuck about any of these movies.
But-
And they're always a pleasant surprise.
Exactly. I think it's top of B tier.
Can we just talk about that, though? The fact that it's always Ant-Man's job to show up when nobody fucking wants him. And he still
He just
sticks
makes
the
everybody
landing.
happy.
He still makes it
Is
happen.
that true?
He does.
At this point.
other stuff happens, that does not. But Paul Rudd, even in Ant-Man 3, sticks his landing.
I think Ant-Man 1 is the top of B tier, but I
It's
cannot.
also the best Ant-Man movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Mhm.
It's simple. It's more grounded.
Holy shit, I just realized something.
What?
As much as people talk shit about Ant-Man 3, definitely liked it better than Ant-Man 2.
Really?
Yeah. I hated the villain in Ant-Man 2.
So Ant-Man 1 is a B tier. Top of B tier. Better than Iron Man 2.
Ant-Man?
Yeah.
Better than Iron Man 2?
I would say yes.
No.
I would say yes.
No.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Okay.
It's the top of B tier.
I'm like, this motherfucker gonna pick rock. I'm gonna go paper, scissor.
Now we have another left turn. Do you remember the next Netflix show to come out?
Jessica Jones.
Jessica Jones. Season
Yes.
1.
How many seasons are there, first of all?
3.
Okay.
Season 1.
Season 1.
Stellar.
Possibly one of the greatest superhero TV shows I have ever seen.
Agreed.
David Tennant.
David Tennant fucking carries,
He's
man.
So,
David Tennant carries.
Jessica!
That alone.
It's gonna peak.
It's gonna peak? You don't think it was fucking peaking before you were screaming? Him yelling her name alone carries.
Deserved an Oscar.
Okay? Then you get to season 2 and it's about her
And
mom. And season
shows up
3
and
just
she
fucking falls off.
ruins the show. And season 3, I don't even know if I watched because her
Fucking
mom
falls
ruined
off.
the show.
I think if Jessica Jones was only one season,
Would have been flawless.
A or S tier,
Oh,
up there.
Yeah, S tier.
The bottom of S tier.
Season 1.
The fact
season
that
2
you
and
have these
3,
other two,
garbage. It's dropping down to C. They're that bad.
I'll give it top of C. I
Yeah,
can agree with
okay.
that. Okay. David Tennant carries, whatever her name is, who I can't forget from Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Jessica Jones, fuck ton of charisma,
Kristen
charismatic
Ritter.
as shit. Kristen Ritter before she dies of heroin. Great. Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad reference. It's
I really
okay.
thought she was dead for a
No,
second.
no,
I got
no,
so sad.
No. She has like 2 kids. She's fine. Okay. A lot of charisma. There's a lot of good vibes going
on
on.
my face when you say that just to see my reaction.
Luke Cage showing up in season 1.
He
Great.
was even great before he became
Exactly,
Spartan
before-
Locke, and then when that was so good, I got excited for him being Spartan Locke, and then the story ruined it.
Oh, and then the Halo 5 was fucking ruined.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me find Jessica Jones. Jessica Jones, I'll give it the top of C. It's better than the
I
Incredible
wonder if
Hulk.
those graphics still hold up because I remember seeing
No.
Jessica Jones and seeing Spartan Locke and be like, that's it.
That's one for
that,
one.
Yeah.
It's not.
Okay.
Doesn't hold up. I won't even say that this is controversial. I think there is if you break up the MCU community into thirds, there's a third that say like the Avengers is the best movie. A third will say Infinity War Endgame is the best movie.
Okay.
And then a third will say Civil War is the greatest MCU movie because they took 2 protagonists that we have met and known so much about, pitted them against each other, and even today, people are still arguing who was wrong. Clearly, Iron Man's wrong, but that's okay. I think Civil War is at the top of S. Civil War has more of an impact on the MCU in its entirety after the fact. It has more Avengers in it than the first 2 Avengers movies put together. And Captain America, even though it's just Bucky the whole time, fucking carries. Give me your opinion, Brendan. Are you
I
kidding
was
me?
really just nodding and hoping that you were going somewhere, and I didn't realize you started somewhere, and then we're waiting to end.
I was waiting for
so
you.
I was really hoping you'd be like, so that's why this movie sucks, or is
Civil
good?
War is an S tier movie.
Oh yeah.
Civil War is, I think, especially from this point, the best MCU movie without a doubt. It is perfect. Spider-Man showing up. Tom Holland is the perfect
Under
casting.
rules.
The suit is perfect. The charisma between like
Him
him and
Bucky
fucking
and
Bucky.
Hawkeye?
Exactly.
Yeah, great.
You can tell.
Yeah,
You can tell it's a reshoot.
You could tell.
You can tell it's because they go into this building. It's just the 3 of them. They're entirely separate. You can tell
I
it's a
didn't even get
reshoot.
that. That's how flawless
After
it was.
but exactly.
But to me,
that's what I'm saying.
It was great because Bucky and Hawkeye are like, I fucking hate you, but you're my bud. But I fucking hate you. And then Tom Holland shows up and is like, who the fuck are you? And they're like, I'm Spider-Man. And they're like, go away.
What does that mean?
I don't give a fuck.
Paul Rudd shows up in the van and he's like,
Hey, and then like movies later, he's like, I was in Germany, man. And I'm like, I was in that van.
I helped them fight in that airport.
Yeah.
Where everybody started punching each other. My name is Paul Rudd.
He so doesn't fit, but does at the same time. It is
Exactly.
the craziest thing.
It's so funny that if you drop him in an Avengers, I hate the cherries. If you put him in an Avengers movie, he feels almost out of place, but it's very close. But if you put him in his own movie, you're like, no, this makes total sense. He's fucking funny as
Because
fuck.
he fits in the Marvel universe, but he doesn't
Doesn't
deserve
fit with
to
the
be
Avengers. Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
He deserves to be someone who shows up, but is like, you're not cool enough to be in our
Endgame,
group.
And in Endgame, his role is flawless because he's not
Because
really
he's
an
fucking
Avenger.
tiny.
Is that a joke? Boom, pss.
Civil War is an S tier. Agreed?
Okay. But yeah.
It's at the top of S tier.
Yeah. The shot alone of them charging at each other, and then the shot again at the end where they're fucking Cap and like Bucky
Oh,
are
yeah, and they're
fighting.
beating the fuck out of each other?
Oh, so good.
That
Zemo,
is-
even without the mask, good.
Zemo's good.
Good.
But
Not
I
great.
don't watch Civil War to be like, Zemo is such a compelling villain. I watch Black Panther. How could we forget? His best suit, first of all. Chadwick Boseman, the perfect fucking casting. Him showing up, all this career, he takes off the mask, he's like, I fucking hate you guys.
Me not knowing who Black Panther was at that point, being like, can you really run as fast as Cap? And then in Infinity War, they answered that.
Yeah. And then they actually have the two actors sprinting.
Yeah. I like how we
Stellar.
keep mentioning that so you know where that's going to be already.
Of course.
Like, I'm like, this happened, but it pays off there. And this happened, but it paid off there.
All right.
That's
so
why that movie's good, man.
So
Okay,
right,
we'll get there.
Civil War is above the roof. Okay, Civil War is that high.
Oh,
Now
but-
we're
hold on, where does
stuck.
that belong in the S tier? Because we keep adding
I'm
things.
saying it's the top. It's above
top
the
of-
Avengers. It's above Iron Man. It's above First Avenger. Civil War is the top of those four. The Avengers is at the top of our S tier. Civil War is above that. That's
I think Iron Man belongs above the Avengers.
really
Yeah. Looking back on it, and let me talk first. The cultural impact of Iron Man and the building
Yes.
alone, and us falling in love
with
with
RDJ.
Tony
Yeah,
and RDJ and Happy, and everything happened in that movie. And the Avengers happens and has the payoff with him sacrificing himself because of Iron Man.
you're skipping so far ahead.
Iron
Brandon.
Man is better than the Avengers.
The first Avengers.
Yeah,
I will give you that if Civil War is at the top of the S tier.
sure.
We can make a compromise there. Because Iron Man is that good.
Mhm.
Now let's go to something that somehow feels so similar to Iron Man, but is so different.
Cap 2.
Doctor Strange.
Where's Cap 2? We didn't. that's
Winter
Civil
Soldier.
War.
Winter Soldier is
Yes,
too.
thank you.
Civil.
Stop.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
So
Fuck.
Doctor Strange, first Doctor Strange, the original Doctor Strange,
Yes.
bottom of B tier.
Dormammu.
I've come to bargain. Benedict Cumberbatch.
Come to the flea market. It's bargain.
Benedict Cumberbatch is the perfect casting for Doctor Strange, but this movie does nothing to help him. It does nothing to.
He just seems like a dickhead.
I mean, that's the point.
Yeah.
But I'm saying from a story basis, the movie is doing nothing to show us how good Benedict Cumberbatch is. He's just taking a mediocre script and running with it. Fucking Caecilius, whatever. Who's the actor that plays him, the villain?
Oh,
It's not Dormammu, because that's played by Benedict Cumberbatch.
is it really?
Yes, it is.
Wait, what villain? Oh,
Caecilius with the eyeballs.
Yes.
Yes.
Thomas.
Nope.
He's like Swedish. He's Swedish.
He
He's in
also
Star Wars,
played-
Rogue One.
Yes.
He's in he's like, Google it. He played Hannibal. Maybe that's why I want to say, because it's not English, so I don't know the name.
Mads Mikkelsen.
That was so off.
God,
His name is Hummus. You mean hummus? No.
Mads Mikkelsen. A great actor.
Yeah.
Shitty villain.
What's your thing? I got circles on my eyes.
I got circles on my eyes and look, Blade.
Remember that? I can stop time.
He goes like this.
Oh no, that's the time stone.
Nope, that's
What does he do, really? Get his ass beat by a cape? What does he do?
Cape is great. Cape is Benedict Wong. Another fucking great
What
standout.
are the fucking odds? They're
That
too
Benedict Wong plays Wong?
No. That and the fact that his fucking coworker is named Benedict Cumberbatch. Benedict
Yeah.
is not a common
It's
name.
not. It's really
especially in an Asian community. His name is Benedict. Are you kidding me?
So Doctor Strange, bottom of B tier. I'll say it's worse than Thor.
Yeah.
That feels like an easy one as I keep hitting the microphone. First,
I
Doctor
think
Strange
it's
has a lot
better-
of improvement. Doctor Strange is best in his movies where it's not his movie.
I think because he's good, he's better than Thor. But because of what Thor
The
sets
story
up, it's
itself
just-
is yeah. That I can agree with. Brendan, you ready for another mediocre Netflix show?
Yeah.
Can you guess which one's
Luke
next?
Cage.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
Season 1. First half of season 1. Second half of season 1. Season 2.
I don't.
I'll give
wanna
this an F tier.
What?
Did I hurt your feelings?
The words out of my mouth were literally going to be, I don't know if I want to go D tier on this, and you're like F tier. I'm like,
I'll give it a D tier, but I'll say it's worse than The Dark World. No. The first half of season 1 makes it better than The Dark World, but it's definitely worse than C.
I liked Luke Cage because each one of the defenders was a defender of their own borough.
Yes.
and you really felt the community in his show before it kind of became like a trope almost.
Yeah.
He did it well.
Yes.
I felt bad for the people in his
Yes.
community. He was actually there. He was defending them. And and even though it wasn't as good as Jessica Jones, it's not
My
even
butt
his
hurts.
fault.
I'm sorry, my butt hurts. These stools are not comfortable 3 hours in.
Even though it wasn't as good as Jessica Jones, it's not his fault. It's just 'cause
No.
David Tennant was so fucking good.
David Tennant carried Jessica
So
Jones.
I think it's still C tier, but I think it's bottom C tier. Luke Cage
I'll give it to you.
was fun.
I'll give it to you.
Okay.
I will say, if I could just find it first, Luke Cage, I will say it is worse than The Incredible Hulk. I'll give it bottom C.
Yeah, because the Hulk had cooler moments. Okay.
Yes, it did. It had the moment where he choked out that other guy.
The Abomination?
Yes.
Who completely changes later, but we'll get there.
Yes.
He turns into a fish.
Here's my first bit of controversy.
Mm.
Guardians 2.
Yes.
Bottom
Think
of C.
about what we just
Bottom of C.
but above Luke Cage. We
No.
just rated it. It's better than Luke Cage.
That's who?
Me. Saying it right now.
Guardians 2 to me just feels like, right, there's a handful of MCU movies that just feel like blatant meandering. This is one of those movies. I understand, right? There's a cool Pac-Man scene. There's his dad. They do
What?
this thing. The Pac-Man scene where him and his dad become things and then they go at each other. One of them turns into Pac-Man.
See, I got that from Guardians 3 where they're all wearing the different colored suits that look like the ghosts.
No, that's Among Us.
Fuck you, James Gunn.
No, I think, fine. You know what? I'll say Guardians 2 can be at the top of C
Kurt
tier.
Russell is great.
Funny.
You get Mantis, who I hated at the time,
But
really
in
grew
other
on
movies,
me.
she's fucking great.
Really grew on me, but it's because
Yeah.
she's socially awkward, which is why I
Yes.
hated her, but that is her character.
Yes,
Gamora starts to piss me off in this movie.
100%.
Um,
Nebula begins to be redeemed for me.
Nebula
Mm.
comes back a little bit. You got Yondu. I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.
That's great. Great scene.
Baby Groot. Forget about Baby Groot.
Groot.
Not a terrible movie, but
No.
as far as the Guardians go, it's the worst film.
Agreed. I'm going to say it's worse than Doctor Strange.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
We'll average them out. I'm going to say
What are the C tier movies? Because I think it belongs in C tier.
Jessica Jones,
Mhm.
Incredible Hulk, Luke Cage.
It's top of C tier for that.
But that makes it worse than Doctor Strange.
What?
Then Doctor Strange is bottom of B tier.
Damn, it should be B. Yeah. It's bottom B, top of C in that range.
I will say it's top of C.
Okay.
That I will give to you. Guardians 2 is what we're talking about. Totally lost me. It's just,
killed my
it's one of those
eyeballs
movies-
change.
I don't fucking connect with it whatsoever.
I connect with it because I really like the song Brandy, and that was like the theme song of the movie.
Amber. No, that's a song that I wrote.
I was thinking, Amber, you will remember. Fucking thing. Will you be my friend?
Are you ready for the first F tier in the MCU?
What?
Are you ready for the first F tier in the MCU?
Is it a show or a movie?
It's a show.
Okay, Iron Fist sucks
The
dick!
Immortal. What's the quote? Can you help me, please?
I'm the Immortal Fist.
I'm the Immortal Iron Fist, Danny Frit.
Why can I am the
And
Immortal
then-
Iron Fist, Danny Rand. You want to know what's really
I am
awesome about that show?
the protector of Kung
is the
Lung.
only single piece of Marvel media I never watched
Really?
because I knew it was shit by
What
the
about
trailer.
the Inhumans? You ever watch the
That
Inhumans?
doesn't count.
Not anymore, but it
doesn't-
did.
No. That or like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. didn't watch. There were TV shows that weren't on Netflix. Netflix was cool at the time. Okay, so
was.
the shows on there, you're like, I gotta watch these. And then he's
Iron
like, I'm the
Fist.
Immortal Fist.
I'm the Immortal Fist,
Iron
Danny Frit.
Danny. I am Iron Danny. Hear me roar. And it was
Rand
fucking
Danny,
garbage.
Immortal Fist,
and
Iron.
even when he joined the fucking Defenders, I didn't watch the Iron Fist show, and he's like, okay, I'm the Iron Fist. Back up. And I'm like, are you... And
That was my favorite
Luke Cage doesn't even change. He's cooler than you.
They would be fighting, and the camera would just look at him, and he would go like, and then it would zoom, and he's,
Make him do like a Popeye fist. Do something. Like spin it around a little.
you know, he should come back and then go, my spinach. I would say there's no defending it. It's
No,
an F tier.
No one asked for
Shit.
it. No one gave a fuck when it came out. No one cares to this day. It's probably one of the worst pieces of Marvel media there are.
Have you ever seen the original Fantastic Four movie in the 90s?
Oh, in the 90s.
In the 90s.
Yeah.
That's a bad one, right?
Yeah.
What about that Captain America one where he's on a motorcycle?
Those don't count. They're not canon. We're talking canon, Miguel. We
Yeah.
established that. At the
Yes, we
beginning.
did. Yes, we did. Ready for a neck-breaking 180? We're almost there. We're like halfway through phase 3.
That did
Spider-Man
hurt.
Homecoming.
Yes.
That's an S tier.
No. A tier. It's not my favorite Spider-Man film.
Really? Well,
Yeah.
you're a fucking huge fan of Far From Home.
Spoilers.
I'm not.
We also said that we were going to do the Tobey and Andrew movies, and we completely skipped them.
Honorable mentions.
Oh.
Do you want to throw all the Spider-Man movies in together right now?
They're good.
Ready? We'll spitball them. Ready?
Yeah.
All right. First Spider-Man, A tier.
A tier.
Top of A? Bottom of A? Worse than
Mid-A.
Daredevil.
Mid-A. Oh, better than Daredevil.
Better than Age of Ultron?
Yeah.
Better than Guardians 1?
Yeah.
Better than Winter Soldier?
No.
Spider-Man 2? S tier.
I'm the only... It's not... It's my least favorite.
I know it is. S tier.
I'm the only one who says this.
I know.
I'm giving it a B, so it
You're
goes
giving
an
it a B? A tier. All right. Bottom of A. Spider-Man 3.
Spider-Man
A lot
3,
of nostalgia for the memes in that movie.
but also B tier, because it's a bad movie.
I could say it is
But
B.
still better than other shit.
I'll give it top of B.
You're
better
saying
than Ant-Man?
It's way better than Doctor Strange? You're
Yes.
saying that?
Yes.
Middle B.
Middle B?
Middle B.
Worse than Iron Man 2.
Yes.
Better than Iron Man 3.
Yes.
Amazing Spider-Man 1. Bottom of B.
Like Dennis Leary.
Stop. Bottom of B.
Mid B.
Mid B?
Mid B.
Better or worse than Spider-Man 3?
Better.
Better or worse than Iron Man 2?
Worse.
Amazing Spider-Man 2?
D.
D?
Sorry, C.
D?
D.
I'll give
D.
it top of C.
Okay.
I'll give you top,
Top
of
of
C.
C.
Better than Guardians 2. The way that he emotes in that fucking, come on, Gwen, what are you doing,
Wait,
man?
Gwen fucking dies.
Her head smacks the cinder
Just-
block on the floor.
The way that Lego fucking did him dirty, it made it so much worse. She hit the ground and just fucking...
Spider-Man Homecoming. I'll give top of A or middle of A. Worse than Spider-Man 1 because RDJ. Tom Holland's a perfect casting. The story I thought was a lot of fun. Michael Keaton
Falcon
is fucking great.
Not Falcon,
Michael Keaton.
What's his
Vulture.
name? Vulture. Vulture's great.
But RDJ is the thing for me that takes it from like a solid top of B to like a middle of A.
it's one of his more mid roles because he's barely in it.
Yes, but he shows up. He's like, I'm your dad. Stop fucking
I think
up.
the original Spider-Man with Tobey is better.
That's fine. I'll leave it in A.
Okay.
Where's Homecoming? Homecoming's right there. Middle of A. That's fine. I can understand. I can agree. Are you ready for the most mediocre team up in the MCU?
Dark Boy and Lava Girl?
No, it is not Ant-Man Quantumania.
I was just literally saying Shark Boy and Lava Girl. Because I had no idea where you were going.
The Defenders.
What
What a fucking
F
disappointment.
tier. The hype,
Top of
the
F.
wasted Sigourney Weaver, F tier. The Fist, F tier.
I will say, if I could just find the fucking Defenders poster. I see the Punisher. Moon Knight. Where's the Defenders?
Sigourney Weaver shows up in the last 10 minutes of any movie. It immediately becomes a great movie. She was in half of that show and it was still bad.
The Defenders. I'm going to say it's better than Iron Fist. It's not
Yes,
because
yes.
it's bad, right?
Nothing happens.
It's nothing
happens.
It's because the hype was there.
Yeah.
And then they just didn't pay off. You had everything was set up, right? It was all these shows. The shows were doing fine at the start. You had Daredevil season 1 and 2, phenomenal. Jessica Jones season 1, great. Luke Cage season 1, fine.
The problem
Iron
is
Fist,
you
mid.
cannot do Daredevil with Fisk, and you cannot do Jessica Jones with David Tennant, whose character I don't even remember. Kilgrave.
Jessica.
Kilgrave.
Jessica.
And then you go, I'm Sigourney Weaver. I have cancer. That's not a good villain.
That's
not a good
that's
villain.
a really bad premise. I'll say it's right. If we want to talk actual quality, I'm going to give it a bottom of C because some of the action was still really good, but because of the hype to disappointment ratio, it's top of F.
It wasn't even like I expected it to be as good as the Avengers. I just wanted something solid, and I didn't even get that.
No, you did not. I'll give it top of F. Ready for another neck-breaking 180? Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Thor Ragnarok is an S tier
It's an
movie.
S tier movie.
100% because they
Where
got
in S tier?
it's better than the first Avenger.
Yeah.
I could say it's better than the original Avengers.
We just said that.
What?
We just said
No, the
that.
first Avenger is below that. Iron Man is above the original Avengers.
Is it better than Iron Man? That's a tough one.
No.
It's not.
No, that's an easy one. There's a lot of great charisma in there. The color palette alone, great. Taika
Big
Waititi's
monster.
humor. Big monster. What doing?
Jeff Goldblum.
Hello.
Thor.
Are you asking me for my impressions? Is that what's happening?
No, I'm just like him. That is peak Thor.
It is.
In that movie, you get the
It's the
introduction
perfect
of Korg.
ratio.
You get the introduction of
Hello?
Meek. You get Valkyrie. You before they got ruined in 4.
Stop.
And
For Thor. Thor 4.
the 4.
The 4.
For Thor. This is for Thor.
Zathora.
Zathora. Yes, we're back to Zathora. better.
Thor Ragnarok, I'll put in the middle of S tier. But Thor Ragnarok, it deserved to break $1 billion. And I just wish, right, because
under Iron
whenever
Man.
whenever
Right
we
under
do
Iron Man.
the, what?
Right under Iron Man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whenever we talk about movie reviews, we always talk about the dials. This was the dials perfectly set. It was the humor mixed with the dramatics of Thor, mixed with the MCU dials. It was perfect,
Not only that, you had Thor 2 beforehand.
which
and
was
you're like,
so.
You're getting a new one. But then something magical happened.
Different director.
We saw Jojo Rabbit. And we're like, wow. What a movie. This may be completely wrong. This may have come out after.
It's 100% wrong. Taika Waititi's a very. Before,
Something happened.
pre-COVID,
It may have even been the trailer. Something happened
Yes.
where we're just like, oh my God.
this is so much better than I
This
expected.
looks miles better
100%.
than what we got.
Yes.
And we went and it exceeded expectations.
Yes.
It was so good. You know what's a bad movie when you know what's a good movie when Mark Ruffalo is by far the worst part.
Mark Ruffalo's fucking funny in that movie too.
And he's the worst part.
He is, exactly. The movie from front to back is fucking stellar.
Yeah.
We are in the home run slate here, okay?
Yes.
The Punisher. Season 1, stellar. Season 2, aggressively mediocre. Solid top of C tier.
I'm gonna go B.
B? Better or
That
worse than Doctor
show-
Strange?
Better.
Better?
It had Daredevil action,
That's right, yes.
but John Bernthal. Are you kidding me? That's fucking incredible.
John Bernthal alone?
The memes.
Fucking stellar.
The memes.
What memes?
No.
Yes. That's season 2. Yes. I
my
will put
God.
it in B. What?
I just realized I watched season 2, but forgot I watched it.
So I'm going to put it right above Doctor Strange in B tier. I'm not going to give it any more than that.
Okay.
That's my compromise. We're really getting there.
B tier's fine.
We're like over an hour into phases 1, 2, and 3.
Mhm.
Black Panther.
A tier. It's not one of the best out there. I believe it's a little bit overrated, but there's also nothing wrong with that movie.
Agreed. I think it's, in terms
Besides
of the
the CG.
hype, it is overrated.
Yeah.
The CG in the end kind of falls off, but you can excuse it because it's really about the story, not about the way it looks.
It's just a Lion King.
Killmonger, stellar. The
Yeah.
the parallels in the story, I get it. I think my point of view, I would give it like a middle B tier,
Mhm.
except for fucking Chadwick Boseman. He embodies that character on screen, off screen. He's fucking happy and
He's
stellar.
great.
As you can see, I am not dead.
Martin Short in it.
Forgot he was in there.
Gollum.
Bilbo Baggins,
Yeah. No, yeah, well, he's Bilbo.
Yes.
Gollum's in
Andy
it.
Serkis,
Andy Serkis.
who was also in Age of Ultron that we
Yep.
totally forgot.
Yeah, which is where we first got the hint at Wakanda
Yes,
because of the boat he was on.
yes.
The
The soundtrack. Oh my god.
the intro. Black Panther is the first time I think since Guardians we got introduced to a new part of Marvel that felt like they really did it right.
That they really gave a shit. They put in the
Yeah.
care
And they're
into
like,
design.
this is not just like a whatever, kind of like
Yes.
what we would get in Black Panther 2,
Yes.
where they introduced a new part, which
We'll get there.
we'll get there. But they showed off Wakanda, and not only was I like, I care about what's happening here,
Mhm.
it feels magical in a new way in a world where we've seen the Avengers, where we've seen space,
Yes.
where we did whatever. You're
But
building
somehow
on
you've
this
created something so isolated and
Yeah.
so separate from
You know-
everything, but yet still in the same universe.
so very apparent that it's
Yes.
part of everything, and they nailed that.
Yes.
And that's what's really made that movie for me.
100%. I will
A-tier
give it
movie.
A tier. Better or worse than Spider-Man 2?
Better,
Better or worse than Daredevil?
better,
Better or worse than Age of Ultron?
better.
Better or worse than Guardians 1? I vote it's better.
I vote not, but let's see what the next one is.
Homecoming.
Not below Guardians 1.
Rock, paper, scissors. I think it's better than Guardians 1. Stop being so angry all the time, man. Number 2 on our wicked neck break is the magnum opus of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
A neck break.
It is
What was the last one?
Black Panther,
What's this one?
Infinity War.
That ain't a 180. It's like 20 degrees.
You're right. Let's be honest here.
This is the worst. No.
This is the best one.
No.
Everything built up to this.
I just rewatched both of them
Back to back
for the
at
sake
the same time.
of this.
So did I.
It's good, but a lot of the issues I had with the beginning of Endgame, being in my home and watching them at my own pace, rather than being in a movie theater and sitting down
Oh yeah, there's moments where there's clear applause that's supposed to happen.
and doing whatever. And the disconnect in so many of these stories. Don't you let me finish? The disconnect in Infinity War as moments, the single best moments in the MCU.
Yes.
As a story, they're skits.
I could see how you could get that. I understand.
Not bad under any circumstances.
I think from the hype to the same way that the first Avengers worked out, how they made all these things connect and all these characters come together and everyone felt as an equal. Thanos alone as like the best villain the MCU has ever seen from one movie's worth of buildup.
Yes. He is perfect
He is.
in that movie. Thor showing up with Groot and Rocket. Perfect
Bring me Thanos.
in that movie.
Yes.
Peter Dinklage, not perfect. Very awkward, very strange. Really funny in the moment because it was right around the time that the last season of Game of Thrones came out. And you're like, oh my God, it's Peter Dinklage, who's a small man, but he's real big.
That Funko Pop was
and
big.
you got that, and it's funny. And Teenage Groot's like, oh my God, which was cool.
Ah!
But you also have, looking back at it, so many plot holes. Now that I'm past, because you know what's different between me watching this and watching it all the other times? Every other time we watched it, I watched every movie through phase 1 through 3 in order to get to Infinity War and Endgame. And I didn't rewatch those and just watched them as movies, being aware of the universe. And Infinity War just didn't feel right.
I could see where you're coming from, right? I'm an understanding person, and I've known you for a very long time, so I understand where your opinions lie. I will not let you say this movie is not an S tier.
Oh, no,
I will die on that hill.
These are not arguments saying that it's a bad movie under any circumstance. It's fucking amazing, but it's my argument comparing
you have to find the holes.
To Endgame.
We're not there yet. No, you want to compare it to Civil War or something.
You know my reasons now why what's going to happen, which is why. And I think we used to be reversed on this. I think you used to think that Endgame was better, and my problem.
No, I think Infinity War's better.
And it is. The single moments are, no pun intended, infinitely better in Infinity War. They're so good.
Yes.
And they still give me fucking goosebumps to this day.
100%.
But the moments that don't, really don't. The plot holes with, Vision can't be let out here. Now let's bring him out in the public. Do you know when Thor shows up, they're in the middle of the fucking woods. You know where Vision goes? He jumps out the building.
Into the woods.
Right down. And guess what? When they cut to those scenes later, you see Wakanda in the distance. Are you kidding? Where are they?
It was right there. You could have done it.
Right fucking there. And also.
And then it has one of the greatest scenes.
Peter Quill.
Piece of shit.
It has the greatest CG
scene
the biggest
I've ever seen in my life.
Piece of shit in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
The best CG I've ever seen in the entirety of my life.
His shit
when
is
Thanos is being held, and they're all holding his face, and his face is 1-to-1 with RDJ. I don't know if it was a real face that they made and the CG touched up, or if it's an entirely CG face that they put all the work into.
I'm sorry. What
it
did you
is
just
that
say?
close.
What real face? Who looks like that? Who is that man? Who's purple and big?
If it's prosthetic
Who has
or
a
something.
chin with comb marks?
Prosthetics. I don't know, okay? I don't know.
It's all fake. It's all fake.
What murder? Okay?
What murder?
You had to be
he
there.
was a good guy.
This is worse than Civil War. The best I will give you is worse than Civil War. But Infinity War is better than the first Avenger, the Avengers, Ragnarok, and the first Iron Man. Without a doubt.
Yes.
I will give it to you there.
It's just those problems I'm saying are not huge issues.
Deliberate
I'm
nitpicks to
nitpicking.
differentiate between that and Endgame.
I'm not saying them like they ruined the movie by any circumstance.
That I can understand.
Yes.
Ready? Infinity War.
Infinity War.
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
that happened in the middle. C movie. It wasn't bad.
Yeah.
I did not give a fuck.
Remember what they said? It was the perfect thing in between the two movies. It was this and Captain Marvel that came out. They were like, you know what? It's a nice little break in between. You're gonna like it a lot.
How you doing? Well, my wife left me. My kids are gone. Whatever. I just went to jail. Whatever. But I got the van. Like, I don't remember the quote, but like that moment alone made that movie funny. The villain was forgettable.
Baba Yaga.
Baba Yaga was good. Lawrence Fishburne underutilized.
Underutilized entirely.
Sorry.
You just burp on yourself.
Yep, on the mic. That's why I apologize that I'm not you.
I'll give you top of C. Top of C is where it belongs. It was really nice in the moment.
What else is in that range?
Amazing Spider-Man 2.
It's okay.
And now, she was supposed to be the key to beating Thanos.
She was supposed
She
to
made
be
$1
the next
billion.
RDJ.
She made $500 million in the opening
She was supposed to be
weekend.
our saving grace. She was supposed to be
In
the second coming of Christ.
In the 12 months between Infinity War and Endgame, it went $2 billion. This movie made $1 billion. Ant-Man and the Wasp underperformed. Duh. And then Endgame was the highest grossing movie of all time for a hot minute. Captain Marvel.
Is it not anymore?
No, Avatar beat it from a re-release. Captain Marvel is a D tier movie. Jude Law is underutilized.
Jude Law is
Overhyped.
forgettable.
Overhyped as shit. I understand where they're coming from, right? With it continues to harken back to the same quote and the same thing of her falling down. She gets back up. I get it, right? And in a better movie, this is one of the things where I'm like, this fucking parallel, man, is amazing. This is like Fight Club for superhero movies. I'm going to put this poster up in my dorm room. But this movie, with the way that she went around, it was like, Captain Marvel could pick up the hammer. Captain Marvel could beat Thanos with one arm. Fuck you. Captain Marvel is a D tier movie. It's better than Thor Ragnarok only because of when it came out. Or Ragnarok, The Dark World.
I was about to fight you.
If Thor The Dark World came out
you.
in 2019 when this movie came out and the CG budget was higher and it looked just a little more polished, it'd be better.
I don't remember the CG being bad in Thor 2.
It doesn't. But I'm saying is if Thor 2 had a little more polish to it, it'd be better than Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel is a top of D tier movie.
The villain?
Fucking disappointing.
Forgettable. The
Trash.
secondary villain? Forgettable.
Who was the secondary villain? Talos?
Jude Law.
Oh no, Talos was a...
No, not even.
Talos-
That's the third villain, the main villain. The one.
Who was the
fucking old
oh.
lady?
Yes,
What's her name? Who knows? Who gives a fuck?
that lady.
The black lady who's Monica Rambeau's mother, who's been named time and time again. Forgettable.
No,
Monica Rambeau,
I
less
enjoy her.
forgettable.
I enjoy
She wasn't
her.
bad, but she was there.
Maria Rambeau.
Everyone there was just there, and that was it. Young Nick Fury. Look at it. Oh, wow, look at that. How does he lose his eye? A fucking cat.
I love that they're like, look, he's like 20 years older, but he's still, as we said before, homie still can't run.
No.
Stop fucking make Samuel L. Jackson run.
If you're going to paste his face on something and you have the action, do 2 takes, one with him and one with the stunt double. Match up the fucking movement. You have markers on the ground. You could do it. I'm not going to say easily, but it's been done before. You're Marvel. You're Disney.
Yes.
Make it happen.
Do something better, please.
I don't need a fucking other Harrison Ford going. Running. Running.
I'm running. I can do it. Okay. Are we in agreement? Top of D tier?
Mid D tier.
There's only 2 in D tier.
What's-
This is number 2.
Oh, okay.
Top of D tier.
Yeah.
That's an easy one.
What's the other D tier movie?
Thor: The Dark World.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so it's better.
We got 2 movies left for this episode.
Yes.
Endgame.
Endgame, S tier. And I just want to defend why I have it higher than Infinity War.
Is it better or worse than Civil War?
Better.
You sure?
Yeah, I am.
Is that a doubt?
Mm-hmm. Fat Thor.
Oh, that's
Them
not a good.
predicting Fortnite would still be prevalent.
Which is fucking crazy in itself. That outside of the MCU. I'll give it to you. Not because I think Endgame's story is stronger than Civil War. Not because I think that the way that Cap and Iron Man are portrayed is better. But because of one scene alone, right? It's the 3 of them walking up to Thanos and him sitting there. He's a totally fucking different character than Infinity War. He's sitting there. His CG is some of the best CG you've ever seen in your fucking life. That's where the whole budget went. And he's sitting there. He's like, this is not the exact quote, but he's basically like, I don't know you, but I'm going to fucking kill you.
It's not even that for me. Like, at all.
It's the whole thing. It's the
No.
going back and the...
No, it's
Then what is
one
it?
man. It's one man
What is it?
who gained 50 pounds.
Fat Thor is the reason that Endgame is so good
Fat
to you?
Thor.
Big
No-
Lebowski Thor?
Not because he's
Oh
fat,
my God.
but because he had the redemption arc that fixes Thor 2, has the
Mm.
emotional connection
right.
with his mother
Yeah.
that really has a payoff that you've been waiting for, a kind of foreshadowing that Natalie Portman is returning, and it takes the
Thor's-
stupidness of Thor Ragnarok that we loved, but adds a groundedness and a pain
Yes.
that he really needed.
That I can understand.
And it's amazing.
I will not let you say that Endgame is the best MCU movie because Thor fixes the Dark World.
No.
That cannot be the primary
But-
reasoning.
Captain America.
America's ass.
No. That scene was fun. It was great. It still gave me a chuckle.
Mhm.
Knowing it happened years later, and he went, Avengers! Assemble. And the
And then
hair
Thor?
on my arm stood up, and I went, oh,
And
fuck.
then the Thor
Oh, fuck.
scream. It's not even him saying Avengers Assemble that gets me. It's him saying that, and then Thor goes, yeah! And then it cuts to his face, and every other Avenger who's clearly green screen pasted in behind him is like,
It's every payoff that you ever want. And there are
Exactly.
issues. There are some issues.
I can admit to you, the first 2 hours is pretty slow.
That's the thing, though. Rewatching these in my house, doing whatever, being able to like be on my phone or
Yeah.
whatever, how I watch a movie.
Is
where
it
I'm not
slow
in the
or is it
theater,
just like a normal movie?
it's a normal movie.
Yeah.
I thought it was slow because it wasn't the Infinity War of let's go, let's go, let's go. It was actually a more normal paced movie. And it was actually think better with it, even though I hate the way that Natasha says, I'm going to hit you in the head with a peanut butter sandwich. Bitch, there better be jelly on that sandwich. Who eats just a peanut butter sandwich? Second of all, okay, that's fine. It ain't wrong, but it ain't right. Also, hold on. Also, Karen haircut on Captain Marvel
Atrocious.
made
The
us
wig.
hate her
Wig.
even more.
It's the worst wig I've ever seen.
Made us hate her even more.
Yeah.
And then you have this, like, the continuity errors of War Machine being paralyzed and finding a new suit out of fucking nowhere that
Yeah, I
is
hated that.
definitely an actual, like, Iron Patriot suit, which I didn't even
Yeah.
realize till I watched it on my TV with the saturation pulled up. It's blue.
Yes.
It looked gray in the theater.
scene that's totally just for toy merch.
Yeah.
How he shows up and he's just like, I got this whole new suit with all these layers and all this movement.
The totally unjustified We're the Woman superhero scene, which
Oh,
could have been
A-Force.
handled really well,
It could have.
and they just went, you're not alone. We're here. And we'll disperse.
Is there a
You know, like,
specific
move on.
reason,
Like,
or
what-
are we doing this just for the sake of doing this?
doing it for the sake of doing it?
Yes.
It's nothing is really those two moments. I'm like, what is that? But like,
But
I'm
then
not-
again,
I'm
you,
not-
you talk about the Captain Marvel wig when she shows up and beats the fuck out of Thanos.
really cool.
Homie had to literally hold and break his hand on
Which
a
was
power
really
stone to
funny
hit
because
her,
that was like at the peak of the Karen shit, and she totally was a Karen.
and then she
in
beat his
that,
ass.
and that's why she beat his ass.
And then Tony goes over. Tony, I think there's something so pure about that moment, right? Because now it's what, like 5 years on?
Mhm.
Everybody gets it. But there's something so pure about Tony going up to Thanos, who has all of the stones on his gauntlet,
Mhm.
right? Tony has his nano suit, but his suit is breaking. Not enough nanites in there to sustain him. He's going up to him like, I got to do what I got to do. Cap has already got his fucking arm splinted in half.
Yeah.
He goes up to him. He's like, I know what I got to do, and I just have to find the strength to do it.
Another expected character that like really made that movie a lot better for me was Nebula. I watched it for the first. Hold on, hear me out.
Nope.
Only the beginning part with Tony. Really watching it, the first time I watched it, I'm like, so she's just good now and everything. I'm like, oh my god,
They were both playing survival.
no, he's being a dad again. She's a child in the world
Oh.
of being a good person.
Yes.
And he's there being her father,
Mhm.
teaching her how to have fun, doing it. And I never saw him as that in that scene we did it. They were just getting by. And
He just-
rewatching it again, I'm like,
Yeah.
that
His instinct is to be a
his
dad.
fatherly instinct
Yes.
is there yet again. And that's another thing that really
Mhm.
made the beginning of that movie stand out for me.
Yeah.
It's those little things about Tony where you and me kind of went in, we're like, Tony's gonna die. We know he's gonna die. It's been leaked a lot. It's whatever. And just going into this,
It's the assumption
viewing
he's
it,
going to die.
not worrying about assumptions, not worrying about my previous expectations of the movie. It's been a while now to where I
Yeah.
just watched it, and there's a lot of just small character details that just really came across a lot more to me, and that's what made that one better than Infinity War. Because Infinity War was this is character, like this is a payoff. We're doing this shit. Do you need me to stop talking?
No, keep going.
They're doing this shit because it's cool and it's great and it's awesome to watch. But as a fan of
Yeah.
these movies, seeing Tony really be like that, seeing
Mm.
Thor feel that pain, seeing Cap be able to dance
It's
with
these
Peggy
fucking
again,
like
those
powerful
full
moments.
circles,
Yes.
that are those powerful moments, is what made it for me.
Yes.
Those are the ones that made me feel great.
It's separated and outside of the action. It's character driven and character focused that
It's
really
not even
makes you
character
go.
development at that point.
No,
It's
not
just-
even development.
You're
It's
seeing
just
more of who they
yes,
really are.
exactly. It feels like it's not a character. You see it as a person and a
Yeah.
human being.
These are
and
guys
what
we
they're
grew
going
up.
through.
We were kids
Exactly.
when they came out.
And dude, Endgame goes at the top. People can rank it however way they want, but we're always going to put it at the top because you've just had to be there. You
Yeah.
had to be there for the trailers. You had to be there watching the leaks.
You had to be there watching it in the movie theater for
trying
the
to
third fucking
figure
time.
out what the fucking title was
Yeah.
when they were like, no, the title's not Endgame. I'm positive it was something else, and then they were like, no, Endgame makes a lot of sense. That's a pretty good fucking title. And then you had to be there opening night, where like you and me, maybe it was like a Wednesday night at like 8 p.m. with my friends from college,
Where Marvel
screaming
was
in the theater.
at its peak, where you go to the Dolby Cinema and there's a line of fucking nerds
That's right.
through the theater, and we're all sitting there in our fucking Marvel t-shirts
That's
and
right.
everything, and we're going, yeah, and it's not like a fucking Star Wars thing. We're
No.
going in, we're going, we're hoping it's going to be good. We walked in with our hearts full,
Knowing it was going to be good.
it was going to be
we
great.
knew what was going to happen.
And not a single moment besides the beginning, like 30
Yep.
minutes, where I'm like, it's a little slow, but it was never bad. It was never
There was not a
horrible.
moment wasted.
And one other plot hole that I kind of see about it, which I even saw then, is something that we kind of talked about today or yesterday.
Yeah.
Which is, you see City Field, or like where the Mets play or whatever,
Yeah.
empty, and they're like, "Oh, we missed them and everything." I'm like, we went to a world war where like a lot of the human population died.
Mhm.
We kept sports going. This
Yes.
wouldn't have stopped it. It
No.
would have been different. But
It-
just
I
acting,
mean,
acting like parts of society would just shut off. Not
I would assume,
not
right,
real.
if you want to talk like a real
shit
life
would be
situation,
shattered a little
if
bit.
50% of the population just up and disappeared, I would assume sports would shut down for
I mean,
a
the leagues
hot
would be
minute.
one-sided,
But
like,
5 years in, no,
no,
not a chance. Things would keep going.
Yeah, we went through COVID, and they were like, "Nah, keep it going."
In a bubble.
Yeah,
I
like-
want you in Disney World.
And like that's once
you can't see your
that's
family.
once again that was like it was made before COVID.
Yes.
We're nitpicking. We're really getting
Yes.
down to like
But
what could be wrong.
100. It's the best one. It's better than Civil War.
Yeah.
It's close. I'll admit that. Like Infinity War, Civil War, Endgame are all very like
They're phenomenal movies.
yes, top to bottom.
And that's why, as you'll see in the next episode,
No, there's one more.
but I'm saying it this now.
Yeah.
This is not my closer, but in the next episode, our opinions harshen, and it's not that a
Yes.
lot of these are bad.
Yes.
But we saw it when we left the theater, and the first words out of my mouth is, "Nothing they make will ever be as good as that."
100%.
And that was their mistake, thinking they should continue.
We'll touch on phase 4 and 5 when we get there,
Mhm.
because it's harshness, but from it's a place of like love and like
Yeah.
we've been doing this movie carrying super MCU fan thing for a long time. So the disappointment comes from somewhere that's like, man, I know you could do better because you've done it already.
Yeah.
The last one for phases 1, 2, and 3 is something that I've soured on a fuck ton as time has gone on. And when we walked out of it, you were like, this is top 3. How the fuck do they keep doing this? It's
Yeah.
a Spider-Man Far From Home.
It's still my favorite one with Tom Holland. You know what? No, it's my favorite Spider-Man film.
It's a bottom B tier for me.
No.
I'm so bored with it. I understand where he's coming from, and I love the way that it still leans on Iron Man quite a bit, because I hate the fact now that Spider-Man is so separate from Iron Man. It's like you really, in the MCU, you can't have one without the other, but it's another movie for me that feels like meandering. It feels like we're treading water, and like there's a lot that he can learn from here, and it's a villain and all these things you have to do to protect the world, but it feels like we're just like the world itself is not progressing. This is one of those movies that's
But
like
that's not what I wanted from it.
that's what I wanted.
I saw it as another Spider-Man film, and it was his progression, and that's what I got. He
Okay.
didn't have his Aunt May moment yet, or his
That's
Uncle
right,
Ben
yes.
moment, but you really saw the other things he was a kid, and this is the first movie where it started taking a toll on him being a
Yes.
superhero,
Yes.
and that's what I loved
After
about
he
it.
was like 5 movies
The
deep.
villain was great. It's the first movie I've seen really lean on the spider sense as an ability.
Mhm.
Jake Gyllenhaal was phenomenal.
Phenomenal. Agreed.
Did not like that, Nick Fury wasn't Nick Fury, but whatever. It was Talos.
Oh, you're right. Yes.
Night Monkey, funny. JB Smoove and the other guy who I feel really bad about not knowing his names because I love Freaks and Geeks.
Yeah.
Just really funny, brings so much to it.
Yeah.
Ned being great again, Zendaya being great. Fucking the kid who's a dickhead, being great as being a dickhead.
As being a dickhead.
The
The girl who was in Mean Girls.
girl who's in Mean Girls, she was okay. And just seeing him really balance
Mhm.
being a kid and being a superhero, I feel really came to a pinnacle in that movie because in Far From Home,
No Way Home is the
No
third
Way
one.
Home, it's a superhero movie. He's
Yes.
being a superhero, and this
This is a high school movie.
It's a high school movie, but it did it way better than the first one, where you
Mhm.
really see him balancing
The two.
being that hero. And I just seeing Tom Holland kind of mentally fucking break in this movie
Yeah.
was really what got it going for me. Jake Gyllenhaal just being a spiteful prick, and it coming back to it
When he finally got those glasses, he was like,
when he got those
"We
glasses.
did it."
And it not only, like you're saying, it leaned on Iron Man again, but I loved it because it got a
It
callback
began to.
to another movie that I said was higher than you thought it should be, Iron Man 2. The villain was created because of who Tony is.
I hate that
and
we've stopped
his
doing that.
existence. And it's the fact that these
Yes.
people in this world create things. And the last time we got that was Haley Steinfeld and Hawkeye is created because Hawkeye is who he is. It's not just like, oh, I got powers. It was like, you inspired me
You inspired someone else to
to
start
be
doing
who
the
I
thing.
am. And,
Yes.
after rewatching that show, we'll get there. Like, I actually did enjoy that a little bit more, even
We'll
though
get
I was
there.
a little
We'll
bit
get there.
tired at that point from like seeing,
all the MCU
2012
stuff.
again
Yeah.
after seeing Endgame. I'm like, I don't need more of this.
Which is fair. Where do you want to put it? Because I'm very lenient.
It's not
in
an
this.
S tier movie, but it's an
No.
A tier. It's definitely an A tier.
I'll give you bottom of A at the best.
What's the bottom of A?
Spider-Man 2?
Way better than Spider-Man
No.
2. Yes.
I will
What's
disagree.
above that?
Daredevil?
Better than that.
No.
What's above that?
Age of Ultron?
Better than that.
Nope.
What's above that?
Guardians?
Better than that.
No.
What's above that?
Black Panther?
Better than that.
No.
What's above that?
Homecoming?
Better than that.
No.
We just said it was better than that.
You just said it was.
What's above that?
Original Spider-Man?
What's above
Toby? Winter Soldier?
that? Right below Winter Soldier is where it is for me.
No, I will put it at the bottom of A.
And where did I have it? At the top of A.
Top of A.
So it belongs
In
in
the
the middle
middle.
of A.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Middle would be right there. Okay.
Where's that in comparison to the first Spider-Man?
What do you mean for Spider-Man? Homecoming or Toby?
Toby.
It's below first Spider-Man.
Okay.
Smack in the middle of A.
I love that movie. Zombie fucking Iron Man. I know I'm still going, but there's
It's
so much
good.
I love about that movie.
Okay, so Brendan.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. This 89? It's
88.
been a long day.
Oh, the other
no,
one
we
was
did
88.
80. Mean Girls was 88. This is 89.
I don't like that I'm sobering up now in the middle.
Are
of
you
it.
really?
Yeah.
You got to drink more. So, folks, thank you for watching episode 89. This is the MCU tier list, phases 1, 2, and 3. Last week, Brendan, we talked about Mean Girls and the Iron Claw
And Beekeeper.
Bad movie.
All of them.
Everything that you're wondering about is in the links in the bio. Next week, we're going to cover phases 4 and 5. And by next week, I mean in like the next 10 minutes.
Get ready for that.
Grind don't fucking stop, man.
You think we get mad now and heated?
We've been
Ooh,
doing this
just
for like 12
fucking
hours.
Wait. We started
Just
at
you
9
wait, man.
a.m. What time is it?
8:30.
Oh my god.
Is it really? We have a whole other episode to do.
Ah!
Thank you for watching. We will see you in 10 minutes.